Thanks for sharing my past videos. You know, in the last couple of days, I had to watch them myself. I was kind of down for a couple of days, and I am resilient. I am back up again, and got a little testimony to share with you. You know, my signature statement for the last 30 years, whatever I sign off, has been, does anybody know what my signature statement is? My closing statement. Anybody know what it is? That's right, Lori. It is stay in the light. Stay in the light. That has been my sign-off signature statement for 30 years. And I have a little testimony about that. The last couple of days, I wasn't in the light. Had a couple of health challenges and situations going on. Kind of made me dizzy and kind of off track, and I wasn't in the light. And this morning when my husband got up, and he left early this morning for work, it was still dark when he left, and he said, "Oh my God, Jewel, it's so bright in here." And what I had done is I changed the light bulbs. We have 2 sinks, and over our sinks we have like 4 or 5 of these light tracks over our individual sinks. And what happened was, gradually one light would go out at a time, and we adjusted to the darkness. And when I replaced the light bulbs yesterday, we were back in the light. That bathroom was so bright because I changed the light. And I said, oh my God, that's what happened to me. One light bulb was going out at a time, and I was adjusting. How many of us do that? Something happens, a light bulb goes out, and you don't change the light bulb, you don't read the word, you don't pray, you don't connect with other believers and prayer warriors and positive people, and another light goes out and you don't change it and you adjust, and before you know it, we were down to like, I think, probably 2 light bulbs. Can you imagine going from 8 of these to 2? And we just adjusted. And when I replaced all the light bulbs yesterday, it was like, oh my God, it's so bright in here. We're back in the light. And I thought, this is such a great life lesson for me, and for you, hopefully, that sometimes we allow issues, finance issues, relationship issues, health issues, drama issues, obstacles, challenges, heartache, things that just don't go right. People let you down. People hurt you. People don't keep their word. Car accident, stress on the job. And before you know it, you are not in the light any longer. And so I want to impress upon you, change the light bulb. The word says that the Lord is a lamp. The Lord is a light unto our feet. And when we find ourselves going in circles, when we find ourselves in darkness, when we find ourselves dizzy, when we find ourselves heavily burdened and disappointed, when we find ourselves just going in circles and not knowing what to do, maybe you're not in the light with the Lord. The light, God wants to guide us. And sometimes we're lost because we're following what other people say, or we are attached to what we think it should be, or we could become so stuck like a truck in what we want. And you've heard me say it before, the greatest source of suffering is when our expectations are not met. It's a great source of suffering. And so when you and I are in the darkness and we're like, God, I don't know what to do, I'm feeling heavy, I'm feeling hurt, it's time to change, get some light in your life. It's sometimes, you know, you have to take out the old thinking. Before I put in the new light bulbs, I had to take out the old light bulbs. You see how it's burnt? That's a used light bulb. And sometimes you and I have old thinking, stinking thinking relationships, bad eating habits. Sometimes we have given too much energy and investment into the wrong people. Sometimes we're still believing stuff that, it's not even valid. It's not true. It is a lie. It is a myth. It is fantasy. It is outdated. And so before you can put in a new light bulb, like I did yesterday, I had to take out and unscrew the old thinking, take out the relationships that are dead. Come on, somebody. Unscrew the worry, unscrew the anger, unscrew the unforgiveness, unscrew the shame, unscrew the guilt, and allow God to shine bright in your life. And say, Lord, be a lamp unto my feet, guide my steps. And the thing is, it's a step-by-step journey. We're not going to know. If I were to stop right now, you cannot tell where that path behind me is leading. You see how it's turning? Well, maybe that's how our life is, that when we're standing in the moment and we're saying, God, order my steps, we have to take one step at a time. We may not know where that bend is leading, but we have to trust God. And we have to keep taking one step at a time. And I believe as we take one step at a time, God orders our steps. But we have to stay in that light. Stay in the light of His Word. Stay in the light of wisdom. Stay in the light of discernment. Stay in the light of courage. Stay in the light of faith. And when it starts to get dark, you got to start being more aware of when one light is being burned out at a time, one relationship burned out at a time. When you begin to see that, oh my God, I'm losing. I'm getting in the dark. I'm getting depressed. I'm getting sad. I'm getting angry. I'm getting suicidal. I want to hurt somebody. I want to hurt myself. Hey, that means it's time to change the light bulbs. It was just so funny this morning when John said, woo, it's bright in here. And then what happened, we had to get adjusted to the brightness. Because see, we got adjusted to the darkness. We got adjusted. And why did we get adjusted? Because I was procrastinating. Every day I was like, oh, Joe, you need to go get some light bulbs. You need to go get some light bulbs. Before I bought those light bulbs, I have bought shoes. I have bought groceries. I have bought sheets. I bought a new purse. I have bought stuff. And I was procrastinating getting some new light. So I want to tell you today, don't procrastinate getting in the light. And when you get in the light, stay in the light. And now that I have convicted myself, now that I told on myself, I'm going to be more conscious about those light bulbs. And the first time one goes out, I'm changing it, boo. I'm changing my light bulb because I did not like being in darkness. I could not see my possibilities. I could not see that God was in the midst of it. I could not see my faith. I could not see. All I could see was darkness. And it affected my health. In my evolving as a woman, in my evolving as a teacher, as I evolve as a woman of God, as I evolve as a leader, I'm understanding more and more why the Holy Spirit gave me that affirmation, stay in the light, 30 years ago. I just said it all the time, stay in the light, stay in the light. I wouldn't say goodbye, I would just say stay in the light, stay in the light. If it's time for you to get rid of some of those old light bulbs, old relationships, old thinking, old eating habits, and because of your eating habits or because of your relationships or because of the time you're putting in that is futile to organizations, your job, your church, whatever, your team, whatever it is, make sure that you are in the light. Because if you're experiencing darkness, it may be time to change some light bulbs. You know, we get used to stuff. We just slowly and gradually and incrementally adjust to darkness. We adjust to disappointment. We adjust to pain. And we think after a while that that's normal. And it's not. It's not of God. So in order for us to stay in the light, we have to invite God into our lives to order our steps. We have to invite God into our lives to guide us. And then we have to be obedient. Now that's the challenge, isn't it? Can I be obedient to how God is ordering my steps? Can I be obedient and learn how to let go? Can I be obedient and stay awake and stay conscious? Can I be obedient and forgive? Can I be obedient and put down the sweets or the alcohol or the cigarettes, or put down the sugar, or put down the things that I know that are keeping me in darkness and my health is not shining? You and I are challenged. Can we say no to people? Or can we say yes? Can we say yes to opportunities? And you know what happens when you're in the light? It changes your attitude. When you're in darkness, you have a funky attitude. When you're in darkness, you can't lift your head. Look, I'm talking about me because I was in darkness for a few days, and I had to start watching my own videos about being resilient. And I'm back, y'all. I bounced back. I bounced back. And sometimes I may just play a previous walking video as a rerun. And sometimes I allow people to convince me or allow people to steal my joy. I know that don't happen to none of y'all. I know that don't happen to you. But when we allow people to steal our joy, we go immediately into darkness and we're no longer in the light. I am the author who wrote the book, Shift Happens. And shift is happening. And I'm the one who wrote the book, You Are Too Blessed to Be Stressed. So, how ironic is that the Lord would give me, would impart to me such a powerful message, and then I have to live it, live through it, and stand on His word, and know that as shift happens, I can still stand. To know that I am too blessed to be stressed, no matter what's going on. And that's a shift of an attitude. And it's hard to shift in your attitude if you're operating in darkness. In darkness, you can't have a good attitude when you're in darkness. Your pain, your shame, your guilt, your woulda, coulda, shoulda, your if only they would. When expectations are not met and you become so hurt that you shut down. And I'm the kind of person, you can't tell if I'm angry. I don't express anger too well. And so since I internalize my pain, it affects me in a way that my health is jeopardized and compromised. And so knowing that about myself has convicted me to be more aware of who and what I'm allowing in my ear gate, my eye gate, to be more aware of what's getting in my heart. And who is the one that's always saying, guard your heart? Me. Let me sit down a second. Who is this always saying that? Guard your heart. Well, I have to do that because I see the consequences when I don't guard my heart. I see the consequences when I adjust to darkness, and one by one, day by day, circumstance by circumstance, disappointment by disappointment, the light bulbs just burn out and you're operating on one bulb or two bulbs. That's my message today, is the message I've been given for 30 years. Stay in the light. Stay in the light.